coffee, $17.95. La Illusion, $17.95.
It's the illusion.
The Illusion. The Illusion. Oh, so many people. Mitch Schroeder.
Oh, Martin's beard looking mint.
It is getting longer. He's going to need a wider angle zoom to make sure that that thing all gets in the picture. Or like one of these.
Yeah.
Taller.
Turn your camera this way.
Taller chair. Oh, God. Hello, Mr. Swanson and Finn's mom.
I think my mom's working dual cameras.
Oh, really? Oh, with your brother? 1 minute and 45 seconds, and we are going to get rolling. Rolling. All right. Woo! Welcome, everybody, to the 50th edition of the Barriques Coffee, Wine, and Treat Show. Happy Leprechaun Day.
Yep.
We did literally nothing green today. I didn't actually even think about it.
I was wearing a green coat.
Were you?
Yeah.
Well, I did this past weekend when I was out of town in a hotel watch the Leprechaun Marathon.
Wait, what?
It was some Leprechaun movie, like lots of movies with leprechauns. Let me just tell you what, not one of them was worth watching unless you were stuck in a hotel like I was.
I heard the guy, they were interviewing the guy who was the guy for Lucky Charms.
Okay.
And so he...
The voice?
Yeah.
Oh,
voice,
really?
Yeah.
That was today?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
kind of funny.
Happy St. Patrick's Day. We do not have any green beer today, but we have a bunch of pretty fun products to talk about. We do have one green thing. We have a green version of our of a new coffee.
Oh.
Green. Our labels for our coffee are kind of color coded. If you didn't know that. The green signifies our light roasted coffees. The blue is our medium roasted coffees. Oh, I'm sorry, other way around. Did I print this on the wrong color? Oh no, this is the wrong color.
This is the wrong color.
Jesus, I'm like, okay.
It just says Colombian on it.
Forget everything I just said.
Blue for light.
Yeah, blue for light, green for Colombian, and red for dark.
Yeah.
This Colombian, the new coffee that we just received in, we just have one bag of it, which a bag is not like a little tiny bag. It's 125 to 150 pound bag.
4 rows.
4 rows.
We have 4 rows in that bag.
So about 110 pounds.
Yeah.
Around thereabouts.
Mm-hmm.
And it is unlike our traditional Colombia Cordillera Central. It is in a blue bag because it is lighter roasted. It's called the La Illusion Natural. Super limited time. Super interesting. We do a lot of stuff with Colombian coffee. It's part of a number of our blends. It's obviously one of those, if people enjoy or when we talk to people about coffees that maybe many people will like, Colombian coffee, it just has this like character to it that lost the other half of the CWT show. It has this character to it that people are just very familiar with and very comfortable with. So it's when we would go out and sell to restaurants or sell to offices, it's one of the first things we bring because A, it's great quality, and B, it's just a familiar tasting thing. So it's the first actual Colombian coffee that we brought in, like special version of a Colombian. I think just because we've always felt like our current one is pretty darn good. Mm-hmm. But tell us a little bit about how you guys kind of came to the decision on where you're going to roast it. We're going to then French press it, and as we let it brew, we'll go and talk a little bit about wine. But talk a little bit about the coffee.
So yeah, this is a natural processed coffee. So it's not a washed coffee. And what you get out of a natural coffee is it's a little bit more of a difficult coffee to roast, but when you dial it in, you really exude kind of the fruit qualities of the coffee bean. It really starts to come through. You can smell it in the glass. Boy, I wish I knew what David said. It was something about, you're ready for a roller coaster ride on your nose and things like that, because he had pulled the samples. I was busy roasting at the time, but yeah, we really dialed this in. We did it similar to some of the other naturals that we do. It is on the lighter side of roasting, but it really makes it pop. I mean, you want a coffee that really jumps at you.
Yeah.
This isn't your traditional Colombian style.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a definitely very unique character. It's like we said, it's very limited supply. It is out there and available for sale while we've got it at the barriquesmarket.com site. If you go under the events section and the CWT, the March 17th show, it will be listed there. It's just available for sale in 12-ounce bags. I didn't put the 5-pounders in there. I figured no one was going to buy a 5-pounder.
Well, I don't think we wouldn't even have enough to do a 5-pounder.
Right. But it's delicious. So you're going to, as we said, you're going to do a little French press brewing. Is that what's going to happen here?
So we have our Bodum press. We had a feature on these 2 weeks ago, I do believe it was. Maybe 3 weeks ago.
Yep, 2.
This is an 8-cup, and in the roastery, and the way I do it at home, I have a gram scale. Matt gives me a hard time for being a geek
nerd
as far as like we're actually weighing my coffee. But for the 8-cup, we do 50 grams of coarse ground coffee for the press pot. I did already pre-grind it, but you did see me run away because I forgot to get hot water. So
that's important.
So
to us stupid Americans, what approximately is 50 grams? You got about like maybe half a cup. That looks like about half a cup.
Half a cup, or it's actually it is a third cup and a half of a third cup. Okay. Have you used like a measuring cup in your house?
I got it.
I use a third cup on my scale, so
okay.
That's about that.
That's about what it is.
Yeah.
All right, good.
So you put the coffee in, and then as you pour your coffee, you want it to steep and give you what's called the bloom. Typically, what we put in is about 200 grams worth of water when we do it, and that's where the beans actually start to soak, and you see it. The cap actually rise up like a mushroom. Sometimes if you have really fresh coffee and you put it in your brewer and you wonder why it's pouring over the top of your brewer, it's because the coffee was very fresh.
Yep.
And your infusion part of the coffee actually kind of bloomed over the top of your bin. So once you hit about 30 to 40 seconds, give it a good smell, just see where you're at. Very fruity.
Ooh, yeah, very fruity. Yeah. So fruity.
So fruity. Give a little spin to get the grounds nice and mixed in. I'm going to run out of hot water. Hope I'm just a hair shy.
Wow, that was either needed a bigger pitcher or a better pour. So as we said, under that March 17th section, all the stuff we're going to talk about today is out there and available for sale, including the, we'll sort of switch gears as Finn finishes up the brewing, our email line of the week, which had a typical Finnberg culinary term that I needed to look up, and I'm sure when he did it, he was laughing because he knew that I was going to have no freaking clue what a lardon was. What the hell is a lardon?
Lardon.
Lardon.
Yeah.
Whatever. I mean, creme fraiche pizza with this wine is good with creme fraiche pizza with lardons.
Yeah.
I mean,
bacon
really,
bits.
I did find it was bacon bits. Like literally, if you like had a massive chunk of bacon and cut them in like
cubes,
basically.
Yeah. Yep. It's very typical French pizza from the Alsatian side of France.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
it's one of those things. If you go to a place in Alsace and you order the creme fraiche,
yeah,
they will keep bringing it to you until you tell them to stop.
Oh,
They just keep bringing them on. And it's like, oh, hey, another one. Oh, hey, another one. And finally somebody said, if you don't tell them to stop bringing them, they won't stop.
wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of lardon.
That's a lot of lardon. There's a lot of creme fraiche too.
That's right. So every week we throw out to a group of wine aficionados a little deal on a wine that we think is particularly special. And this week's wine was the Rustenburg Chenin Blanc. Chenin Blanc is probably one of the best places to grow Chenin Blanc is in South Africa.
Yeah, outside the Loire.
Outside of the Loire.
Yeah.
I've said in a few places the best place, which I'm sure, I wonder if I'm going to get any hate mail for it, but the Rustenburg is from South Africa, and I mean, it's a stupid deal for $12.99 regular pricing. $10.99 is what the deal pricing is, and it is a great, like, it tastes like maybe this weekend when it's going to be 55 degrees, sunny, you might actually throw it out on the patio a little bit.
And it comes with the twist top, the Stelvin top, so perfect for anywhere you go because you can pop it. This is from Stellenbosch, so straight north. Oh, part of this cap stuck right to the top. It's from the Stellenbosch area, which is basically straight north and a little east of Cape Town. So this winery was founded in it was 1682 originally, and then the family who currently owns it bought it in 1942, fortuitously, actually. And Chenin Blanc just really shines in the South African terroir. It's the soil type, the climate really brings it through, and it has a very Loire-esque kind of quality to it. You know, really good structure, really good kind of brightness to it, a lot of green fruit to it, green pear.
It tastes like French Chenin Blanc, like Chardonnay from this region tastes like French Chardonnay.
Yeah.
It's I'm not a wine expert enough that I would potentially mistake the two countries if I were to drink this.
We'll get back to the coffee, but I did press it down at 4.5 minutes.
Okay.
That's the ideal infusion
time. Even
time.
though you had to run over and get some more water?
Yeah, the clock was still going.
Okay, it was still brewing.
It's still brewing.
Even though it didn't have enough water. And this has, like, unlike some Chenins that you might have, like a weight to the palate that is, I think, obviously typical of the area that it's produced.
Yeah, it's not over. It's it's not that honey Vouvray style though.
Yeah.
I mean, this is bright. It's crisp. It's clean. Really great minerality to it, and a good food wine.
And ridiculous at $10.99.
Yeah.
I mean, for the price, this thing is smoking. So the Rustenburg, tell me about availability, because I know we've sold out at least one place already.
Yep. I ordered more.
Okay, so we're good to go.
Yeah, we're good to go.
I suggested it was the preemptive fill up your wine rack for the upcoming patio season, which is just right around the corner, let's hope.
Yep.
Despite what that stupid groundhog said. And the Rustenburg Chenin Blanc is available for sale out on thebarriquesmarket.com. It is marked down to $10.99, so you can go out there, purchase it. I think really literally from any store, with the exception of, I think University was the only place that didn't get delivery. If you don't see inventory in it right away, check back or email Finn or Matt at barriquesmarket.com, and we will be able to hook you up. As Finn said, more is on its way.
Oh, I'll set the coffee aside.
Okay. Oh, yes. Let's do that. Let's do that in a
we'll do that
because we got some people.
We got people waiting.
Okay. Do you want to do the coffee real quick and just knock that bad boy out?
Sure.
Okay. Let's do the coffee. I'll talk a little bit about the tasting that we have coming up on Friday. So every Friday, some Thursdays, we've been doing virtual tastings, as many of you out there are aware of. They've been just a ton of fun. Great learning experience, entertaining, not too, you don't have to get too cerebral about it. It's just really just about enjoying the wine and enjoying the company of the guests, which include Finn and I. We're not the stars of the show. We always bring somebody else on who really knows what they're talking about, including whether it's the owners / winemakers, importers, sales folks, you name it. We've had them all on our Zoom tastings on Friday nights, including the one that we have coming up this Friday, the Hobo Wine Company. We have the winemaker, founder of the business, Kenny,
and his wife.
Yep. Are going to be joining us. We spoke to him last week. Should be a lot of fun. We love the style of his wines just in general. And so you can grab those tasting packs out at the barriquesmarket.com site. Typically, we package a few wines together, and you can upgrade those if you'd like. Try to keep that initial price kind of reasonable. Many people who don't upgrade will come back and buy the things that we talk about, because they're typically some of the things that are maybe a little bit more expensive and kind of and really pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So that is
those good stories.
And yeah, very good stories. So that is the 19th, 7 p.m. They're generally always at 7 p.m. Fast forward to next week, we're going to make our trivia man wait just a little bit longer. But we are going to be teleporting. Sorry, I know, Martin, you were first in line, but we're going to go talk to Mitch. We're going to go and visit Italy for the second time in the last couple weeks.
Yep.
On March 26th, Friday night, March 26th at 7 o'clock. The Elena Walch winery is who we're going to be featuring. It's a kind of all-woman affair. But we've got Mitch Schroeder here, who is going to tell us a little bit about what you can expect when you hopefully are able to join us next Friday. So I think Mitch looks like he's ready. Yes, he's ready. There we go. Awesome.
Hey guys, can you hear me okay?
We can hear you great.
Perfect. Hey, first of all, I want some of that coffee. If you could send some all the way to Hazy, San Francisco, that would be fantastic. But I am very excited to do this wine event with you guys next Friday. I work for the Elena Walch Winery. It's an old 1869 was when it was founded. Woman-owned and operated sustainable farm to state winery from the most northern region of Italy called Alto Adige. I wish I could be there now. Unfortunately, I'm going to be here in San Francisco next Friday. We are one of the most prestigious and most famous wineries in the region. It's one of the smallest appellations in Italy. It's right on the tippy top of the country, right on the border of Austria and Switzerland. The wines we make are very, very exceptional. They're fruit oriented. They're bright, zippy, fresh, and it's kind of this beautiful amalgamation of two different cultures, the Italian culture and the German culture. And you can taste it in the wines, but also in the food and the beautiful region that we're in as well. 4 wines available for you. Pinot Grigio, which is exceptional. It's all estate fruit. We have a beautiful rosé, which is going to be unlike anything you've ever tried in Northern Italy, and certainly one of the newest and most unique styles coming out of the country. We have a beautiful Pinot Noir and also a unique variety called Schiavo, which is indigenous to our region. They're all fascinating wines that I love. It was my dream to work for them for the longest time, and I finally got the opportunity, and I'm hoping we can transmit that to you. It's one of the most beautiful areas on the planet. We encourage you to come out if you have the opportunity as soon as all this COVID situation kind of resolves itself. And it's a fascinating story that you're going to absolutely love. So very much looking forward to see you guys next Friday. And please sign up. It's going to be fantastic.
Hey, Mitch, question
Yes.
for you. Will you have pictures of the region?
I have one ready if you want to see it. I was ready to go. Look at this vineyard here. Can you guys see this okay?
You'll have to share your screen. We can't see it.
I think it says it's going there.
Let's see. Maybe we'll try something new that I have never tried before. No.
There's a share screen button on the bottom, but yes, I have plenty of pictures to showcase. It's the most stunning region. It's right up on the base of the Alps, and it's completely surrounded by the Dolomites. So
that's the reason why I asked you if you were going to have pictures.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I'm very. It's probably you don't even need to see me, to be honest. We just scroll through pictures the whole time, and you'll be smitten forever. And having visited the place quite a few times, it's just one of the most stunning places literally on the planet. It's breathtaking, to be honest, and it's this little tiny glacier carved valley that's sits in the middle of essentially nowhere, but this beautiful crossroads between Austria and Italy. So if we can figure out the sharing, no worries, but we'll definitely see some pictures about the winery, the cellar, which is this old historic cellar as well, and the beautiful region. It's just amazing.
Well, the reason why I asked if you're going to have photos, because if you don't, I've got some, and I've always said when I retire, that is where I want to retire to.
Yeah, you and I are emulating the same life, I swear. Yeah.
Yeah, but Finn said that what he wanted to do when he retired is like run a farm.
Well, there's that part too.
I mean,
yeah. In fact, when I first started with the winery, I asked Elena Walch, the current owner, I said, "Hey, how much wine do I have to sell to retire here?" And she's like, "Oh, a lot." So I have a ways to go. You guys are helping here. I appreciate it. This is an amazing place. And, fascinatingly enough, most of the people speak English there. So it's great. I don't speak Italian. I don't speak German either. So it's perfect for people like me to fit in and go and visit and ski and hike and do all the great things. And, of course, drink and eat. 15 Michelin stars in this tiny region. There's less people than here in San Francisco in Alto Adige, and they have more Michelin stars. It's incredible.
Great.
So
the Schiava, I'm glad we included the Schiava in the base pack of wines, because that was the one when we tried it, we're like, oh my, we wanted to do the tasting with you guys. It was just the complete deal sealer.
Absolutely. It's become my house wine, red wine for sure. It's fresh, bright. It's a growing chillable red wine category. It's so food friendly. It's unique to the region as well. I mean, there's a few places in other parts of the world that are growing that great, but otherwise it's important to not only Alto Adige, but also to our winery. It's a perfect addition to this pairing. So
awesome. Well, Mitch, we are looking very forward to hooking up with you next Friday at 7 o'clock. Thanks very much for joining us tonight.
Absolutely, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks so much.
All right.
Thanks.
Cheers. All right. Thank you very much.
Oh, yeah, we're waiting for the woo.
I know we haven't done the woo yet. Gratuitous woo. Gratuitous woo. All right. I kind of wanted to leave one of the best for last, so we're going to let Martin just wait for just a couple more minutes. Let's just talk. Let's do the coffee. Let's get the coffee taken care of before it gets cold.
We're coming to you, Martin.
Yes, coming to you. Don't go away.
Don't go. So, back to our brewed coffee.
Yes.
And with the Bodum press, the coarser grind, you just get that much more body and texture to the coffee. And especially with this type of coffee, it loads you. I mean, it's a mouthful. The taster descriptions had, I think, something like raspberry vinaigrette and the milk chocolate notes to it. I can kind of get the raspberry piece to that. Yeah, the creaminess that comes through in this coffee, being such a light roasted coffee. Normally, your acidity spikes in a light roasted coffee, where this one's just so round and supple.
It's delicious.
Yeah.
I mean, it's too bad we don't have the more superior Chemex brewing method here for the day today. I'm a Chemex fan. Finn's a French press man, but it's okay. Yeah. I still like it.
Okay.
So the Colombia, going back, if you are just kind of joining us, the first thing that we talked about today was the Colombia La Ilusión natural coffee, brand new into the store, very limited time. We literally have just one bag of this stuff, 4 different roasts. It'll start showing up in the stores in limited quantity, but most of it's going to go online. You can order it online to pick up in the store. You can order it online to ship. It's $5 flat rate shipping pretty much anywhere in the United States. And take advantage. If you're a fan of coffee and you like light roasted coffee and kind of just like true specialty coffee, this stuff is smoking great.
Yeah.
We're going to give a big woo for that one. Woo! So also next week, we are fortunate enough to be doing our fourth round of trivia. All these milestones here. Fourth round of wine and trivia. It is not trivia about wine. It is drinking some wine while we're trying to fumble around and answer some questions. And we talk a little bit about the wine as the rounds of trivia are getting scored. But we couldn't do it without gentleman Martin Lee, who has joined us for all 4 of these. He's been doing trivia for literally almost a decade, I believe. And we're going to bring him on because we figured, it's one thing to like read a trivia question. It's another thing to have Martin read a trivia question because he's part of the whole experience. And you can, there's a couple different wines in the tasting pack, and then you can add a bunch more because there's several rounds, basically one wine for each of the rounds. But it's very, I believe it's like $20 is what the initial tasting pack is. Super inexpensive.
It's fun.
It's great. It's great. It's a great way to spend a Friday night if, we're not. Thursday night. Bring friends. Anyway, we're going to get Martin here. He is going to give us at least one question. I think it also tell us a little bit about the categories, if I'm not mistaken. So, Martin, yes, at long last, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. So, Martin, what you've done a lot of these trivia things. I'm kind of just curious, like, what's one of the things you've learned over all these times of doing it that are one of the keys to being able to like successfully do one of these and have people have fun?
I think a large part of the success of these trivia events is to make sure that everyone feels like they can participate, that sort of we have a range of questions that can cater to a lot of different people. And as I'm writing the rounds, I like to keep sort of the expected crowd in mind, and that kind of helps guide where I go with a lot of the questions, and sort of helps decide the difficulty of various rounds. So
given that, now that actually really has got my juices flowing here. So you've scored 3 rounds of Barriques trivia. Like, are we overachieving, underachieving as a group, over the last 3 episodes? What's going on here?
How do I want to know?
Not including Finn and I, because we know we lower the bar.
I think it works pretty well because, we need a floor and a ceiling. So,
thanks.
But it's been working well. There tends to be a pretty good spread of the scores. And as I'm doing the rounds, I'm trying to take those questions so that so that we can get a team with a highest score, a unique team with the highest score in each of those rounds. So trying to I guess make things a little bit more specific for some of the more difficult questions to hopefully raise someone up above the rest in each round.
We appreciate you looking out for the little guys.
So like with a test, since we bring the curve down, it makes the people on the top actually look a lot better, right?
Oh yeah, they look great. Yeah,
we're doing a good job for our customers. That's great.
We're helping out our customers really well.
Yeah, it's a service.
There's service. So one of the great things about the trivia, we have a bunch of different rounds, answer a bunch of different questions, talk about the wine. While we're doing all this, there's music going on, which is always a lot of fun. It's just an added element to this whole thing. Which literally, if there were 9 songs, I don't know how many songs are there typically, Martin?
15.
15. Okay, I think there were 7 band names that I literally had never heard of last week or a month ago, I guess, at this stage. But the purpose, not to just talk about how poorly Finn and I do on these things, is to actually talk about a question, I believe, right? You've got a question for all of us?
I sure do.
Awesome. Well, let's roll with the question.
So the question that I picked this week comes to us from the round of March Madness. So we'll have a March Madness round. It's only fitting as we'll be right in the middle of the tournament. And so the question I bring to you today is, what has been the most successful Big Ten conference team in the NCAA Division I men's basketball tournament, having won 5 titles, most recently in 1987?
Ooh, wow. Most recently in 1987. Oh, interesting. No. I have no idea. We could play the Jeopardy theme song, but
5.
Let's do the 5. I don't know, whatever that means. So while we're all waiting for the answer, Martin, can you give away the categories for next week? Do you have all the categories?
I do. I have hand-selected categories. I'm going to keep the music to myself. I haven't fully decided. There are a couple options there that I haven't quite picked out yet.
Okay, fair enough.
But for our other 3 rounds, the 4th round, of course, is always a general knowledge round. The first round that we have will be a March Madness round. So we'll feature all questions about the NCAA Division I men's basketball tournament. Round number 2, very recently, just a couple of days ago, it was Pi Day. So round number 2 is a math round.
Oh, come on. You give me a pie and then the math thing. I was understanding there was no math involved.
And then the 3rd round that we have, also a couple of days ago, the Grammy Awards happened. So it's going to be a round on the Grammy Awards, not specific to this year's Grammy Awards, sort of in the entirety of the award shows.
Awesome. Well, I know I have a phone a friend ability, given that I'm helping run the thing, and that's thank God. I'm really looking forward to it. So we have virtually no quorum on what the answer was.
Yeah.
For the question that you asked about who the most successful Big Ten give me the rule again. The most successful.
So, the most successful Big Ten conference team in the history of the tournament.
There we go. Most recently winning of 1987.
Yep.
And who was that?
And so the answer there, I see a couple of correct answers in the chats here. It is Indiana.
Nice.
The Indiana Hoosiers are the most successful Big Ten team.
Cool. Is that who you had?
No, I was thinking it was the Fab Five.
Oh, for Michigan.
Yeah.
I think Michigan's won 2.
Is that right? Okay. Well, thank you, Martin, again. You're a good sport. Appreciate you coming on a week or so in advance of our Thursday get-together. It's always a lot of fun, and we're very appreciative that we have an expert doing this with us. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
We'll see you next Thursday.
Week. Yeah, we'll see you Thursday.
All right, cheers. All right. So that is Mr. Martin Lee. He will be running the show pretty much next Thursday at 7 o'clock. It's a lot of fun. I know you may have to work the next day, but you can control yourself on the alcohol thing and answer some fun questions, and just it's a good time. That is Thursday, 7 o'clock on Zoom. You buy the tasting pack. We get you the instructions on how to connect up with us, and you're good to go. Last but not least, recently added to the tasting schedule is the Zorzal Argentinian wines. You have all those? Yeah, you got
We got 2 over here, 2 over there.
2 over there.
We're flanking.
We have had the Terroir Unico Pinot Noir and Malbec in the stores at various times.
Yeah, and we run specials. Times? Yeah, many. Yeah.
The Bianco, Dago Bianco, that's new, right? Bianco.
The new concrete egg aged.
Okay, that's what Ego stands for.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And is it Grand? What is it?
Grand Terroir.
The Grand Terroir Malbec.
So, like the special land.
Cool. The winemaker, Gianpaolo, will be.
Jean?
Is it?
Jean-P?
I think that's his nickname.
Well, that is his nickname.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the winemaker for the winery in Argentina will be joining us. That's April 2nd, Friday, April 2nd, at 7 o'clock. It should be a lot of fun. The reds are the initial tasting pack group. The bonus wine is that Ego Bianca, which should be fun and definitely worth it. I don't know.
When I think his beard might actually rival
Martin's.
Yeah,
I think 100%. At least if it's the same as what they've got going on.
Unless he got a shave.
Unless he got a shave. My guess is that's probably didn't happen. So that is April 2nd, and we didn't actually talk about the date for the Elena Walch. That is the 20. Let's see, how does that wrap up? Do I have my dates kind of goofed up? I must have my dates goofed up.
Today's 17th.
No, it's the 26th. We talked about the 26th.
Yeah.
I did that. Okay, I'm now losing my mind. I was like, wait a minute, I'm missing a month in March. But so anyway, Hobo Wine this Friday. Next Thursday is our trivia. The following Friday after that, the 26th. We're doing the Elena Walch Italian tasting. We're going to zoom down then to Australia or Argentina the following Friday on April 2nd. and do the wines from Zorzal with the winemaker from Argentina. Should be a lot of fun. I hope you guys can enjoy us and join us. It should be a good time. And one of the questions we get sometimes about these wine tastings, because you have 2 or 3 bottles of wine, is like, people are like, well, what do I do with these? Well, I mean, first our answer is drink them, right? You get a few friends over that can join you. Or what we do a lot of times to pass these things around, or when we end up having to taste a lot of wines and we want to keep them fresh, we decant them into smaller bottles. And
yeah, so your pro tip is to go to your local store that you would, make homemade olive oils or vinegars for your friends and give them away for the holidays with that little clip top, and you fill it right off the top. We use just stick a funnel in there and go. Recently,
this is a super pro tip.
This is a super pro tip. Those of you who enjoyed our On the Rocks tasting or have been enjoying On the Rocks, because ever since we featured them,
crazy.
It's been a constant. These bottles are awesome for decanting your wine into. Also, sticker comes right off. Clean them up nice. Holds a little over half of your bottle, so you can have 2 glasses out of your bottle, and then fill your bottle right up to the top, and
you're good to go.
Yeah, you fill it right up to the top, right to where the cork stops. That way you have no air in there. So the only exposure the wine had was, basically decanting it into the bottle. Throw it in your fridge and save it for several weeks if you like.
Yes, it's the easiest wine preservation system you've got. With air being the enemy of wine, you fill it all up, leaving no air, you're good to go for a while.
Yep.
So that's a pro tip for episode 50 of the Barriques Coffee, Wine, and Treat Show.
Woo! That's the pro tip 50.
That's pro tip 50.
Gotcha.
Thank you very much for joining us. We're looking forward to being here with you on episode 51. 7 o'clock every Wednesday. Got to come up with some good things to do for the year anniversary after that, when we'll actually be back in the same spot. Have a great week. Enjoy what looks like to be great weather coming up.
Yeah.
Grab some of that
Chenin.
The Russian Chenin. It is smoking good and perfect if you want to get a little kickstart to the warmer weather up ahead. Have a good one. Cheers.
Have a good week.